Good evening across Australia and New Zealand, and welcome to Gloucester Park for the running of the 1989 Interdominion Grand Final. Gloucester Park has never looked better, the showplace of harness racing here in Western Australia. And we have the ingredients for what should be a memorable Grand Final. And a lot of Interdominion history, in fact, could be written after tonight's race, especially if Western Australian champion Village Kid or the Victorian Our Maestro are successful. The barrier draw for the big race, reading from the inside, number 1 from New Zealand, KYLIE'S hero, the driver, Maurice McKendry. 2, My Current Account from Western Australia, Lindsay Froyland. 3, Parvo, also from WA, Fred Kersley. 4, Bronski Beat is scratched. 5, Jodie's Babe from Victoria, Scott Stewart. What a big night it is for him tonight. 6, Nickalong Shadow from New South Wales, Bernie Hewitt. 7, Luxury Liner from New Zealand, Tony Herlihy, the driver. 8, Our Maestro from Victoria, Vin Knight. 9, Rolliella, Kevin Rivet, Rolliella from New South Wales. Number 10, Village Kid from Western Australia, Chris Lewis. And 11, Rivoli Jack from Victoria, the driver is John McLean. The field for the 1989 Interdominion Grand Final, first prize, $260,000 to the connections. The favourite all week since the qualifying heats last weekend has been Village Kid. Let's go down to the betting rig and check the latest market. Here's Greg Keeley.
Thanks, Trevor. Well, as you might well imagine, it's absolute pandemonium here in the bookies ring with the 1989 Interdominion Championships just moments away. Village Kid, the hometown favourite, he's been up at 7-4, but he's now a very firm favourite indeed at 6-4. Let's go to the top of the board, and KYLIE'S hero has firmed up a little bit from 15 to 14 to 1. So has My Current Account. She's drifted from 14s to 15 to 1. Parvo's had a bit of an up and down time, 7-2, back to 3, 7-2, now back to 3 again. Jodie's Babe is 12 to 1. Nickalong Shadow has been the big drifter at 66 to 1. She's drifted to 80 to 1. Luxury Liner and Our Maestro have been fairly steady at 4 and 5s. 33 to 1 is Rolliella. She's been down as far as 25 to 1, but now back up to 33. Village Kid, as I said, 6-4 favourite, and Rivoli Jack steady as a rock at the bottom on 8 to 1.
Leading out the Interdominion field, the 1967 winner BINSHAW with Phil Coulson in the Spider. BINSHAW, a 27-year-old now, he looks in fine fettle. He's been kept on the mark by Fred Kersley Sr., and he really does look a picture leading out this Interdominion field. The oldest surviving Interdominion winner in Australia, BINSHAW with Phil Coulson in the Spider. He doesn't look too bad, does he, for 27 years of age, and it really does bring a lot of memories flooding back when you think back to the Interdominion Grand Final here at Gloucester Park in 1967, won by BINSHAW. He's a very proud animal still, despite his years of 27. And Phil Coulson, still a prominent trainer arrangement here in Western Australia. Big crowd packing every vantage point to have a glimpse of this Interdominion field, led out by KYLIE'S hero, the New Zealander, the driver Maurice McKendry, and this pacer from Barrier 1 is going to be well suited. He's got good gate speed. He's been very consistent in the heats. He was placed behind Sinbad Bay and Rivoli Jack. Last week he disappointed when he ran 8th to Our Maestro when he led them up. But I believe he'll have the run of the race from Barrier 1, KYLIE'S hero, and a very strong representation from New Zealand. Number 2, My Current Account from Western Australia. That's Lindsay Froyland in the Spider. And look at those green colours. I wonder if that's an omen on St Pat's Day. And his form through the series has been consistent. He ran 2nd to Sinbad Bay on the first night. He was unplaced during the daylight meeting, but he returned to his best form. In fact, he burst right back into calculations with a brilliant win last Friday. And he is going to be right there when the whips are cracking, My Current Account. The trainer, Ray Duffy, we wish him all the best. He hasn't been too well since last Friday night. Number 3, Parvo, another West Australian. Doesn't he look in great fettle, Parvo? A fighting winner on the first night over 1,700 metres. Fred Kersley in the Spider, and he flew home when a close second to Our Maestro last Friday. And Fred Kersley, I think, would dearly love to win this Interdominion to cap off what has been a brilliant career in harness racing in Western Australia. 4 is scratched. 5, Jodie's Babe, the Victorian. Scott Stewart in the Spider, and what a big moment it is for him this evening. And this mare has absolutely thrived in Western Australia. She's been in brilliant form in the heats. The record books are against her. A mare hasn't won the race since 1971 when Stella Frost was successful, but Jody's Babe really has got a great chance here in this Interdominion Grand Final. There's Nickalong Shadow, number 6, Bernie Hewitt, the driver, the outsider of the field. He ran a very good race behind my current account last week, but he really does face a stiff test in this star-studded field. Number 7, Luxury Liner from New Zealand, Tony Herlihy, the driver, Barry Purdon, the trainer, and this champion New Zealander trained to the minute to win this big race tonight. He's run fourth in the last 2 Interdominion Grand Finals, and there's no doubt over the staying journey of 2,500 metres, Luxury Liner is in there with a great chance. Number 8, our Maestro from Victoria, Vin Knight electing to drive the defending champion, a 5-year-old stallion who really has returned to his best form. He won in great style last Friday. He's worked brilliantly during the week. Vin Knight's got him right back to his best now. And of course, if he wins the grand final, he becomes the $1 Million Maestro. Number 9 from Sydney, Rolliella. Well, Rolliella started the series off in blistering form. He was placed behind Parvo and Rivoli Jack. He blotted his copybook last Friday when he choked down and finished last behind Village Kid. It always pays to overlook one bad run. You can see by his stake earnings, Rolliella, that he really is a pacer of a well above average ability. A great contender from New South Wales. This is the popular one, number 10, Village Kid, the favourite. Trained by Bill Horn to be driven by Chris Lewis, as always. Undefeated in the series, the same as he showed in Brisbane when he went on to win the final there in 1986. And during this series, he's set an Australasian record, he's broken a state record and had the fastest heat time over 2,500 metres last Friday. And of course, if Chris Lewis can win this grand final, he'll become the first reinsman to win 3 Interdominions, having won with Carclue in 1976 and Village Kid in 86. Number 11, Rivoli Jack from Victoria. He has explosive speed, he's a very exciting stallion, and his form during the heats has been faultless, except for his last run when he weakened slightly, but I think Rivoli Jack really is the value bet of tonight. Well, during the week, one of the highlights has been travelling to the south of Perth, down to Naval Base to the beach, and talking to the connections of quite a few of the Interdominion runners. Of course, Village Kid is trained on the beach at Naval Base, and it's always a pleasure to talk to Bill Horn about this exciting champion. Village Kid's trainer Bill Horn rates the champion as good, if not better, than when he won the grand final at Albion Park in Brisbane in 1986.
Village Kid fighting back, they go to the line, Village Kid!
A little bit faster, this has been proven by his times, and he's a hell of a lot tougher.
In a grand final, you need to be tough, as reinsman Chris Lewis and Horn found out in last year's final in Sydney. And that race still haunts the kid's jovial trainer.
It wasn't very nice what happened, and I just hope that doesn't happen to anybody of the 10 runners this year.
Horn knows what it takes to win a final, and he believes he has the most relaxed and the best horse in the race.
Yeah, well, he's a real competitor. He relaxes in between races. You'll see him on Friday night. He'll be in the stall, sound asleep, legs crossed, and just taking it easy. But the moment we start to put the harness on, the adrenaline runs. When we go to put it in the cart, he'll give a kick out with each leg, and by the time Chris gets on board, he'll be ready to take on anybody in the world.
Village Kid poking his tongue out at the opposition, and no wonder he's relaxed with training conditions that he goes through each week. That's our Maestro, Vin Knight in the Spider, our Maestro and Jody's Babe, the 2 horses from the Knight stable. And he's had mixed fortunes during this Interdominion, Vin Knight. He lost Sinbad Bay after the first set of heats, and Sir Riley has fallen by the wayside. But these two certainly give him a great chance tonight, our Maestro and Jody's Babe. Victorian reinsman Vin Knight had the choice of our Maestro and Jody's Babe for the final. And he's hoping this year that he's made the right decision in choosing the defending champion.
Our Maestro wins by a net, Parvo.
It was a fairly tough decision because Johnny Binns can come over and he was going to drive our Maestro if I didn't drive him, and because he drove him last year and won on him, and he would have got the drive again this year if I didn't drive him. But as you say, she's flying at the moment. She hadn't put a foot wrong. She's probably a little bit unlucky she hasn't won the 3 heats that she started in, and she met Village Kid twice.
Babe on the inside. Village
Both Our Maestro and Jodie's Babe have thrived on a similar preparation to Village Kid on the beach at Naval Base south of Perth. And Knight believes this method of training has helped Our Maestro return to his best form.
He has come good at the right time. I would say he's probably not quite as good as he can be, but I'm very, very pleased with him, and Friday night he'll be putting up a very big run.
I don't know who's more sunburnt, Vin Knight or me, after spending a week on the beach at Naval Base. Number 7, Luxury Liner from New Zealand. Well, as Village Kid is an idol here in Western Australia, of course, you people in New Zealand know the fortunes of Luxury Liner. An outstanding New Zealander, and during the week I spoke with the trainer, Barry Purdon, about his chances.
250 metres left to run. It's Jodie's Babe, 3/4 of a length. Luxury Liner called upon for the supreme effort, is slowly bridging the gap. A length to the half, John Connolly, and around the outside, Voigt coming into the picture. Turning for home, it's Jodie's Babe in front with 120 metres left to run. Luxury Liner on the outside. Here comes the big staying New Zealander. Jodie's Babe battling back. Luxury Liner on the outside. They go to the line. Jodie's Babe. Jodie's Babe a half ahead to Luxury Liner.
Luxury Liner and KYLIE'S Hero head the New Zealand Challenge, with Luxury Liner the best credential to take out the final. And trainer Barry Purdon believes it'll be a case of third time lucky for the $1 Million Midget.
I think he's probably a bit stronger now. He's had a lot of practice, and whereas in Christchurch he was just a boy and against amongst the men, really. So no, I think he's pretty as forward as he can be.
He's only a pony, but he's going to be very hard to beat. There's the Interdominion Grand Final trophy. Let's get a betting update now from Greg Keeley.
Thanks, Trev. Well, there's been a bit of action down here in the bookies ring, but Village Kid, the hometown favourite, stays at 6-4 on. KYLIE'S Hero on my current account are steady at 14 and 15s. Parvo has continued his jumping bean act and gone back to 7-2. Jodie's Babe is firm from 12 to 10s. Nickelong Shadow is steady at 80-1. Luxury Liner and Our Maestro are fairly steady at 5s. And Rolliella has firmed from 33 to 25-1. Village Kid, as I said, 6-4. And Rivoli Jack has had a little bit of money, going from 8-1 to 7-1.
The West Australian champion, Village Kid. The horses are still in the preliminary, and we may be running a little bit late for the start of this Interdominion Grand Final. What a great champion. You saw him on the beach at Naval Base, his training ground, and Bill Horn supremely confident that Village Kid can win his second Interdominion after winning in 1986. Chris Lewis, a big moment for him too this evening, having won the Interdominion twice. And a big crowd here, a crowd of about 20,000 packed into Gloucester Park. And Gloucester Park has never looked better. Over $5 million has been spent here on the track and the facilities for the public in the last 2 or 3 years. Improvements have been noticeable all around Gloucester Park to make it a real showplace of harness racing in Western Australia. There's the signal for the field to be called up to the mobile barrier for the running of the Interdominion, 2,500 metres. Our Maestro in the gold colours, Vin Knight. There's my current account, Lindsay Froyland. Mobile barrier shortly will move into position on this spacious half-mile circuit at Gloucester Park. Been a very warm day, it's a balmy night, and a lightning fast track. And it's been mentioned in circles right through the week that this is possibly one of the best Interdominion fields collectively we've seen for many, many years. The heats have been exciting. The crowd have been absolutely thrilled by the races that we've seen so far, and the magic $1 Million horse, Village Kid, has been the one to attract all the attention, as has number 7, Luxury Liner, Tony Herlihy. He hasn't won a heat, but he's been close up on more than one occasion, and he's a grand stayer and should be ideally suited. In fact, the further the journeys have got, the better he's got, Luxury Liner, through this series. $1.5 million earned in stake money, and he'll be up pushing the $2 million mark if he's successful tonight. And doesn't he look fit? The section of the back straight. Another horse who's burst into calculations for the Interdominion final is Parvo. Big crowd now anticipating a start is getting close for the Interdominion Grand Final. Parvo came into the series under some cloud. He's had knee problems right throughout his career. He's a very lightly raced 5-year-old. He's owned by a band of women who've been absolutely thrilled with his performances. Mrs. Kersley, Ania, White and Nixon. And Fred Kersley has done a marvellous job in bringing this horse, in fact nursing him through the series. He won brilliantly first up over 1,700 metres. He then was unlucky behind Village Kid, and he ran a great race here last Friday night. He gave our Maestro a start off the back straight, and he ran him to within a long head at the finish. He's absolutely trained to the minute, Parvo, and from barrier 3, he's always going to have the sitting shot on the leaders. And if ever a trainer driver deserved to win an Interdominion, it'll be Fred Kersley, one of the most polished and brilliant trainer drivers in West Australian harness racing history. So the field's starting to assemble now at the point in the back straight. Bronski beat the one scratching from this Interdominion Grand Final. I can really imagine what's going through the minds of some of those drivers right now, especially Chris Lewis, the driver of Village Kid.
Rightio, mate. We'll just take it easy. Just go steady. This is the one we want. We just got to take it nice and quiet. We're looking for a nice, real nice start. Just relax. Just try and take him out as best we can.
Chris Lewis, the adrenaline would really be pumping through his veins at the moment, as it would be with the other 9 reinsmen in this field. Village Kid, poised to become the richest pacing gelding in the world if he can win this Interdominion Grand Final and take his stake earnings over the $2 million mark. The field starts to move up for the Grand Final, $260,000 to the connections of the winner. Number 1, KYLIE'S Hero from New Zealand. My current account in 2, then Parvo. Jodie's Babe, I expect her to run a big race, although the record books are against her. Nicolong Shadow, the outsider. Luxury Liner, Our Maestro, Roller Yella, Village Kid, and Mr. Explosive on the outside, Rivoli Jack. Mobile Barrier starts to move off. Release point is in the home straight. KYLIE'S Hero, the first one to nose the gate. Got good gate speed. He'll be right there from barrier 1. There's the shot from on top of the Mobile Barrier. As they start to go down the straight, wings fold back. Here's the commentator, George Griliasic.
Jodie's Babe, also my current account. It's going to be a hectic battle for the lead as they race out of the straight. My current account goes through on the inside to head off Jodie's Babe. Our Maestro 3 wide, Village Kid 4 wide, trying to get around Our Maestro, but Knight's going forward with him. Back on the fence, KYLIE'S Hero in between horses, Parvo. Lewis restraining now, Village Kid dashing up behind him. Back on the fence, Nicolong Shadow from Luxury Liner. 4 lengths further back, Rollier, and 6 lengths back behind him, Rivoli Jack. Down the back and a great burst of speed by Our Maestro. He's taken over the running, Our Maestro. Village Kid has gone up into second spot, but has done a power of work in the early part. A length back on the inside, my current account, and 3/4 of a length back, Jodie's Babe. 1 out and 1 back, KYLIE'S Hero on the rail. Parvo is next on the outside, followed by Nicolong Shadow. Luxury Liner on the outside of him, 1.5 lengths, Rolliella, and 3 lengths further back, Rivoli Jack. In the home straight with 1 lap covered, and it's the defending champion, Our Maestro, the leader. Shows out by 3/4 of a length on Village Kid, and they've eased off the tempo as they come down to the judges' box. 1.5 lengths, my current account, on the inside of Jodie's Babe. The lead time was 66 seconds, which is not all that fast. They were followed back on the inside by KYLIE'S Hero. Parvo is running 6th on the outside. Nicolong Shadow's back on the fence. Then 1/2 length further back behind him, Luxury Liner. 1.5 lengths, Rolliola, and 2.5 lengths back behind him, Rivoli Jack. He's about 30 metres from the leader as they go down the back, and it's Our Maestro. Our Maestro by 1/2 length on Village Kid, 1.5 lengths, my current account, on the inside of Jodie's Babe. Then KYLIE'S Hero, a neck back on the outside, Parvo travelling beautifully. Then Nicolong Shadow on the inside of Luxury Liner, 1.5 Rolliola, and 2 lengths back behind him, Rivoli Jack. 32 32.1 for the first quarter of the last mile. The leaders are going easily. Our Maestro still by a neck to Village Kid. A length and a half on the outside. Next of all, Jody's Babe. My Current Account on the inside. Parvo's next, racing outside. Kylie's Hero. Then Luxury Light and Nickel on Shadow. Rolliella and Rivoli Jack last. They come down to get the bell. And past the judges' box with a half mile to go. Kersley's off on Parvo. The second section in 30 seconds, and it's Our Maestro, the leader. Village Kid is a long neck back on the outside. My Current Account third on the rail from Jody's Babe, which has had a beautiful run. 3/4 of a length, Parvo. They're sprinting hard up front, then further back on the inside. Nick along Shadow. Kylie's Hero between runners. Luxury Liner 3 wide, then Rolliella and 2 lengths. Rivoli Jack down the back, 450 to go. Our Maestro, 3/4 of a length on Village Kid. Back on the inside, My Current Account, that section in 28.4. They're flying along in front. It's Our Maestro by a length to Village Kid. Village Kid under the whip from Lewis as they pass the 250 metre mark. My Current Account on the inside. Jody's Babe hooking out 3 wide. Parvo's out 4 wide, but a long way from the leader now. Our Maestro straightens with 150 to go. Leads by a length and a half. Village Kid. Jody's Babe down the outside. The whips are out. It's Our Maestro. Jody's Babe on the outside. Getting deep. Jody's Babe is running up on the outside. Jody's Babe beaten Our Maestro by a long head. Village Kid might have got third from on the outside. Kylie's Hero. Rolliella flashed up. Down close to the fence. My Current Account. Nick along Shadow. Then Luxury Liner. Followed by Parvo. And Rivoli Jack is the last one home. The mighty...
What a moment it is for Scott Stewart, the young reinsman from Victoria, selected by Vin Knight to take the drive on the mare Jody's Babe. And although it's a very close finish, Jody's Babe by favour on the outside to get the verdict over stablemate Our Maestro. And look at Vin Knight. He's absolutely elated as he leaves the spider to congratulate Scott Stewart. A photo finish has been called for, and a flooding finish behind them. Village Kid is in the photo for third. Rolliella, Kylie's Hero flashing up, and a very tight go indeed for the Interdominion Grand Final. Village Kid gallant in defeat. He worked very hard early. Let's have a look at the closing stages. Our Maestro into the straight. He looked all over a winner on the turn. Village Kid feeling the pinch. My Current Account under the whip in third place. And here comes Jody's Babe down the outside. And just behind them, Kylie's Hero and Rolliella. Look at Our Maestro in full flight halfway down the straight. The Interdominion Final looked set for Vin Knight. But then along comes the stablemate. And didn't I tell you, she's absolutely thrived here in Western Australia. She's absolutely flown home over the top of Our Maestro, grabs the lead in the shadows of the post and gets up to win. Our Maestro second, maybe the New Zealander. Kylie's Hero has run third, just ahead of Village Kid and Rolliella. Village Kid finding the going a little bit tough in the run down the straight after doing all that work in the early part of the race. I thought it was surprising that Lewis went forward out of the mobile barrier. I thought he might sit back and come around them. 5, 8 and 1 are the official numbers. Number 5, Jody's Babe, driven by Scott Stewart first. What a moment for the young reinsman and for the connections of Jody's Babe, who defies the record books, winning tonight's Interdominion from number 8, the stablemate Our Maestro, driven by Vin Knight. And in third place, number 1, Kylie's Hero from New Zealand, driven by Maurice McKendry. And I know Peter Blanchard would be tinged with a touch of sadness with the run of Kylie's Hero in this Interdominion Grand Final back home there in New Zealand. Number 5, Jody's Babe, Scott Stewart first. Number 8, Our Maestro, Vin Knight second. There's the winner. A bonny little mare and a very proud young man in the spider. Number 8, Our Maestro, Vin Knight second. Number 1, Kylie's Hero, Maurice McKendry. Here's Greg Keeley now in the winner's circle.
Well, what a fantastic performance. With me now, the owner of Jody's Babe, Rita Burnett. And Rita, the heart would have been in the mouth.
It's unbelievable, fantastic. It's unreal, just can't believe it.
He sort of came from nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah, in the back straight, I thought you were struggling a bit, but you come home in the last 50 yards. Fantastic.
Rita, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Excited owners as number 5, Jody's Babe from Victoria. We're very parochial here in Western Australia. Second, number 8, Our Maestro. And third, number 1, Kylie's Hero. Well, that's it, the Interdominion Grand Final. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage here from Gloucester Park.
There should be a great roar from the crowd. Rivoli Jack restrained at Barrier Rise. So was Rolliella. And they're off and racing. The blue light's on. Jody's Babe won the start. My Current Account going with her. And Village Kid's cutting across from the extreme outside. Posted 4 deep on the first turn. Holding him out wide is Our Maestro. Kylie's Hero now gathering speed on the inside of Parvo as they settle. About 2 lengths further back to the New Zealander Luxury Liner from Nicolong Shadow. Then 5 lengths to Rolliella. And a similar margin to Rivoli Jack, dropping straight to the tail of the field. And Village Kid is out in no man's land. Jody's Babe has been headed off around the outside by Our Maestro. Our Maestro goes to the front. Village Kid races up to his wheel into second place. My Current Account third. And Scotty Stewart now drops Jody's Babe into the 1-1 trail. A length away on the inside. Fifth is Kylie's Hero. Parvo 1 out and 2 back as they settle fully. Then Nicolong Shadow joined on the outside by Luxury Liner. Kevin Rivette has Rolliella back second from last and about to tack on Rivoli Jack as they swing past the 1700. They've completed 1 circuit and Our Maestro shows the way as he did in the 1988 final. Vinnie Knight holding Our Maestro together, leads by a neck on Village Kid. A length away third on the outside is Jody's Babe. My Current Account fourth on the leader's back. 1 out and 2 back is Parvo racing outside of Kylie's Hero, 1450 metres to go. Then came Nicolong Shadow back on the inside of Luxury Liner, third from last, being tracked forward by Rolliella. And 2 lengths away then the Victorian Rivoli Jack, about 25 metres off the leader. A moderate speed being set by Our Maestro. Leading the way past the 1250, the lead time 66 seconds. First quarter of the mile, 32.1. Our Maestro dictating terms in the grand final by a half length on Village Kid. A length away third in the box seat, Jody's Babe outside of My Current Account. Now Hurley he pulls. Luxury Liner 3 deep. Parvo's about to come out underneath him. Hurley decided against going forward, slotted back in behind Parvo. The other New Zealander, Kylie's Hero, 3 back the inside. Then Nicolong Shadow. Rolliella's on the back of Luxury Liner. Parvo's off 3 deep as they go by the bell. And Rivoli Jack is still last of all. Homeward bound in the grand final of 1989. Our Maestro up tempos and snuck away by length on Village Kid, 650 to travel. Froyland's at work on My Current Account. Jody's Babe is fourth. 30 seconds, the second quarter of the mile. Over on the outside is Parvo, making heavy weather of it, 3 deep. Then Kylie's Hero off the fence from Nicolong Shadow. They were followed by Luxury Liner, not doing a lot. Then Rolliella. And last of all is Rivoli Jack. They're flying in front, 28.4 the third quarter. Our Maestro, the leader, got away a length and a half. Village Kid. Lewis has gone for the stick on the champ. My Current Account third, then Jody's Babe around the outside. Knight, though, is sitting as cool as a cucumber behind Our Maestro. Our Maestro, 150 to go. Led from Village Kid. He's closing now, so's Jody's Babe. Kylie's Hero on the outside. Our Maestro in front, grabbed by Jody's Babe. Jody's Babe hit the front. And Jody's Babe won the grand final. Jody's Babe first. Our Maestro maybe second from Village Kid or Kylie's Hero, tight for the minors. Then Luxury Liner, Nicolong Shadow behind them with My Current Account. Out wide was Rolliella. They were followed by Parvo, and one of the last ones home is Rivoli Jack. It's a photo finish. Number 5, Jody's Babe, I think, has won the grand final, driven by Scotty Stewart. What a moment in this young lad's life. A sensational race. Our Maestro turning the corner in front. Yes, Vinnie Knight has acknowledged the fact that Jody's Babe has got up and he's sprung out of the cart to pat Scotty Stewart on the back. A job well done. Let's have a look at the replay. They were coming from everywhere over the last little bit. Jody's Babe had got to the stable, made our Maestro right where it counted. Village Kid, Kylie's Hero, battling it out for third, but Jody's Babe has certainly won the 1989 Grand Final. Given the run of the race, she's beaten our Maestro by about a neck on the line. Kylie's Hero will run third, just ahead of Village Kid. And Rolliella was rocketing home on the outside. Parvo couldn't go on. Luxury Liner, never likely. And Rivoli Jack finished home on the outside. But Jody's Babe, the first mare in goodness knows how long, has won this final. A brilliant drive by Scott Stewart.